Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So we are starting with Ad-Darsu Sabi Ashara. It's the 17th lesson and it's called Ghurfatul Maktab. Ghurfatul Maktab, it means the ghurfa is the room, right? Al-Maktab is the office. Maktab, remember we mentioned it has two meanings. One is desk. It can mean desk, right? Like that. And it can also mean office. Okay. So when you say ghurfatul maktab, it would mean the office room. Okay, the office room. Now, so the first sentence we have bakrun fi ghurfatil maktab. Bakrun fi ghurfatil maktab. Bakr is in the office room. It's a very simple sentence, right? Inshallah, we understand everything what's happening here. In the next sentence, we have lil ghurfati shurfatun kabira. Okay, lil ghurfati. Remember here you have harful jalli and you have al ghurfa. Yes. Then it says shurfatun kabira. Shurfa is a balcony, right? We had this word before. And if you look at this phrase carefully, you see everything is matching. You have ta marbuta, so feminine, and the case ending is matching. And this is indefinite, and this is also indefinite. Okay, so this is your adjective phrase, right? So you say a big balcony, right? You translate as a big balcony. So how do we understand this sentence? Lil ghurfati shurfatun kabira. So li here is like for or belong. So you probably translate the room has a big balcony. Okay, the room has a big balcony. So li can be used for to have, like li akhun, I have a brother. Okay, li can also be used for to use for. This is for Muhammad. Hada li Muhammad. This is for Muhammad. Okay, now so which one it is you will understand from the context. جيد. Now we have وعلى باب الشرفة ستار خفيف. على is on, right? On باب الشرفة. باب الشرفة is the door of the what? Of the balcony. So basically balcony door. Okay, so on the balcony door, sitar. What is sitar? Sitar is curtain. And then it says khafif. Khafif is like light. Something is light, right? Again, this is your adjective. As you can see, this is a masculine, nota marbuta, and this is also masculine. We have a dhamma, everything matches. So you have to translate as an adjective phrase. So you say light curtain, okay? Light curtain. So you can translate there is a light curtain on the balcony door. Okay, there's a light curtain on the balcony door. Now, now we have it says lil ghurfati maktabun kabir. Okay, lil ghurfati maktabun kabir. So again, we can translate for the room, okay, or the room has. Okay, so the room has what? A big desk. Remember, we said that maktab can mean desk or office. Okay, so here you'll be translating as desk, a big desk. So the room has a big desk. وعلى المكتب وعلى المكتب and on the desk أقلام ومبرات. أقلام ومبرات. What is أقلام? I think we used this plural before. It is plural for قلم. قلم and is plural. This jim, small jim, represent jam'un, which means plural. So what is the jam of qalam? Aqlam. Aqlamun. Okay. Now, wa mibratun. And what is mibra? Mibra is sharpener. Sharpener. So from here, this context, remember qalam, we can use qalam, pen, for both pencil and pen. To be more precise about pencil, we can say qalam rasas. Okay, we can say qalam rasas, which means qalamun rasasun, which means what? Pencil. But in the context, if you say qalam and you're looking at pencil, that's fine. There's no problem with this. Okay. Now, and we have wa mimhatun. Mimha is eraser. Okay, and eraser. Wa mistaratun. Mistara, we had this word before. I think mimha, we also had it before. Mistara means ruler. Okay. Wa zujaja. Hmm. Zujaja, it can have two meanings. Okay. It can be a glass, you know, like water glass, and it can also be bottle. It can also mean bottle. Usually, when you have a ta marbuta, it means bottle. Okay. For example, for water glass, you can call it zujaz. Okay. Wa zujajatu hibr. What is hibr? Hibr is ink. Okay, ink. So few things I want to note. Because we have one dhamma here instead of tanween, and we have a kasra here, we have to understand this is idafa. Okay, so you have to translate as bottle of ink. So basically, it's referring to, sometimes when you write with the ink pen, you have to have ink bottle as well. I think this is that's the one probably it's referring to. Uh, I don't think we use this kind of pen anymore. And maybe for as far as I know, the calligraphers use this kind of pen these days. We use ball pens, right? Now, and then we have wa misbahun kahrabaiyun, and an electric light. Misbah is light and kahraba is electric. So an electric light. Wa ala al-ha'it, and on the wall, sa'atun kabira. So sa'a has many different meanings. Sa'a can mean hour, like it can mean an hour. Like 1 hour. Sa'atun means 1 hour. Okay. Daqiqatun means 1 minute. Okay, so like that. Sa'a can also mean watch or clock. Watch or clock. Watch that you wear on your wrist, and clock is something that obviously you put on the table or on the wall. So it's saying wa al ha'it. So it's talking about this watch here, that there is a big watch, kabiratun. There is a big watch on the wall. Okay. Now, then it says wa lawhatun. What is lawha? Lawha, it also has a lot of different meanings, right? It can mean what? Board. It can mean a board. It can mean painting. It can mean pictures. Okay, so it has all these kind of meanings. So which one is it? Again, you will understand from the context. So it says walawhatun fiha, in it. Why we're saying ha? Because lawha is feminine, right? In it, ayatun. What is ayah? Again, ayah also has a lot of meanings. Here it could mean verse. Because why? It says minal Qur'anil Karim. So a verse from the novel Quran. Okay, Karim means novel. Okay. So now we can understand that lawha is referring to, probably here we have a painting or picture, something like that, right? You can also translate as a board, the meaning doesn't change too much, but it's something, painted or some kind of picture that has ayah of the Quran written on it. Okay? طيب. And we have Bakrun yajlisu khalf al-maktab. Okay, yajlisu is a verb. We had this verb before starting with ya. So we know it's a present tense verb and it's talking about third person singular, he. And who is that he? Because we have the name. So it goes back to he. So Bakrun is sitting where? Khalfa is one of those, remember we talked about dharful makan. So it is adverb of place. And what happens after adverb of place? Noun that comes after it gets kasra. It's in majrur. It gets a kasra. Just like what? Harful jar. So remember, there's a little bit difference between harful jar, for example, ala and khalfa. This would be preposition and this would be an adverb. Okay, but the grammatical effect is the same. Noun after that gets a kasra. Okay, so khalfa means behind. So Bakr is sitting behind the desk. Okay, وَيُذَاكِرُ دُرُوسَهُ. وَيُذَاكِرُ دُرُوسَهُ. So we have a new verb, يُذَاكِرُ. Okay, يُذَاكِرُ means to review. To review. Okay, so I wrote to review. So how do you translate? because it's starting with ya, so we know it's a present tense, and it has ya, which means he. So you translate as what? He is reviewing. Okay. Remember, I need to know what is he reviewing. So we need an object. So what does the object get? Object gets a fatha. So that's why this durus is the object. So we have to know what is durus. Durus is plural for dars. What is dars? Darsun is lesson, a lesson. Okay, so plural would be durusun. Okay, durusun. Now, so a few things to note here. What's going on? So first of all, instead of dhamma, we have a fatha. So that's good because we understand this is your what? This is your object. So it's getting a fatha. But why not tanween? Why just getting one fatha? Because this is part of idafa. Who here refers to his. His. Okay, so this is your object pronoun. Subject pronoun is he, which is hua. Okay, object pronoun, which is his, it means who. So who is attached pronoun, that means this one has to be attached to the word. Okay, so that's why we have this who is attached to this word. Something that we'll be spending a lot more time about possessive phrases like my lesson, your lesson, my book, your book. So only thing I want you to understand that this is also an idafa. So that means it is same thing as saying book of his. See, we still have of. Every time you see an of, you know it's an idafa. Okay, it's almost same thing as saying book of Muhammad. Muhammad. All right. So how would you translate book of Muhammad? You will say Kitabu Muhammad, right? Muhammadin. But now all we want to say, instead of saying Muhammad, I want to say his. Okay, so we know what his. His is equal to who? We just learned it, right? So we want to say Kitabu, everything stays the same, Kitabu, and we just want to replace Muhammad with who. So we can do that. You understand? But now, because who is an object pronoun, all the object pronoun in Arabic language is attached pronoun. That means they cannot stand by itself, it has to be connected. All right. So now you connect these two. That's how you have kita, buhu. Okay. You understand? Now, why don't we have a kasra here? Because the pronouns, it doesn't change. Inshallah, we'll be talking a lot more about these things in the future. And I don't know if we have talked about these things in the past or not. But inshallah, right now, only thing I want you to understand is durusahu, it means his lessons. Okay, his lessons. So he is reviewing his lessons. And the fatha is because it is object of this verb. طيب. And we have وَيَقْرَأُ في المصحف مصحف الشريف. Okay, Sharif is almost same thing as Karim, Al Karim, which is like novel. Okay, now, so and he is reading the Mus'haf. You understand Mus'haf? Mus'haf is the Quran book. Okay, the Quran is the words, what's inside the book. Okay, so the book that we have, you know, those books, the written books are called Mus'haf. Okay, now, and it says Surat al Kafirun. So it's saying يقرأ في المصحف. He's reading in the Quran. What is he reading in the Quran? Surat al Kafirun. And surah, it is fatha because why? It is an object of this verb يقرأ. So he is reading what? He's reading Surat al Kafirun. He's reading the Surah Kafirun. So one thing I want to point out that here it looks like we have an idafa, right? Surata Kafirun. You know, we have, instead of saying Surah Tan, we're saying Surah Ta. So that means looks like it is part of Idafa. And it is true, it is part of Idafa. But the problem we have is that if you look at this one as whole Idafa, then we have a grammar problem here. Then we cannot have Surata Al Kafirun. It has to be Surat Al Kafirin. So something inshallah we'll learn later, but here what they're doing, they're, because the name of the surah is kafirun, so they don't want to change it. So I would rather put in, you know, parenthesis or something like that. Okay, because if you don't put in the parenthesis, then we have a grammar mistake here. Okay, so but if you want to consider this as a, you know, like a name of something, then it's better to put in a parenthesis. You understand? Anyway, don't worry too much about this thing. Okay, now, but I'm not sure if they want us to translate this surah in this level. So what I'll do is that I will have another separate video where I will be translating, going word for word, and see what we can understand from this surah. We'll try to analyze this surah, inshallah. Okay, but I want to keep it for a separate video. Now, in the next page, we have, of course, al-kalimatul jadida, the new words. And we have aqlam. Aqlam is the plural for qalam, which is pens, right? Mimha is eraser. Okay, mimhatun is eraser. Hibrun is ink. Ayatun, aya can mean sign also. You have a sign, like signs of proof. Okay, and it also means verse. One line, one verse of the Quran. Now, and Al Quran and khafif. Khafif is light. What is the opposite of khafif? Thaqil. Thaqil. Thaqilun. Okay, thaqil is heavy. Khafif is light. Thaqil is heavy. Okay, and we have mushaf. The printed complete Quran is called mushaf. Yaf'alu. Yaf'alu means what? It's a present tense, he, so to do. So it would be he does or he is doing. Suratun, surah is a surah, a chapter of the Quran, right? A chapter of the Quran. I will just write a chapter of Quran. The surah, the word, it comes from actually from the word fans. Sur. Okay, remember we had the word fans, big fans. So why does surah called fans? Because they explain that we have, you know, border, and we have a lot of verses in that border. So we have, some collection of verses that is enclosed inside a fence. Okay, so that's why they call it surah. You understand? So that's the idea behind it. Now, then kul. Okay, looks like they are definitely giving you vocabularies from this surah. Okay, that is good. So I'll still have a separate class for that surah. So we'll just go through the vocabulary words. So that means, inshallah, when we do the separate video, it should be very easy for you to follow along. Qul means say. It's a command verb, say. Then we have a'budu. A'budu means I. Remember, we talked about when it starts with Hamza, it is also present tense verb. When it starts with Hamza, it means I do something. So you say I worship. Okay, I worship as a present tense. You understand? So how would you say he worship? You say ya'budu. Say ya'budu. He worships. You understand? Abid. Abid is what? Worshipper. Yes? Now. And it says antum. Antum is you plural. Okay, antum is like you. Just like anta. We learn anta, right? Anta is what? Anta is you. But you masculine, singular. Yes? When you say anta, you're talking about one person that you're referring to, and that person is masculine. So when you say antum, it is still masculine, but you as a plural, more than two, so three or more. You understand? Now, deen is religion. Dinun is religion. Okay. Durus, and we talked about durus. Durus is lessons, and the singular is dars, darsun, which is a lesson. Yudhakiru, it is verb to review. To review. Mibratun, mibra is what? Is sharpener. Sharpener. Pencil sharpener. You understand? And zujaza, which we said it can be bottle. bottle. It can also mean glass. Now, and sa'a, again, it can be hour. It can also be watch or clock. Sitarun is curtain. Curtain. Karim is noble. Mada is like what? It's a question. What? Mada. And Sharif is same thing as kind of like same thing as noble. Karim, right? And Ghurfa is a room. We know that. Kafirun, al kafirun, disbelievers, believers, plural. Okay, the singular is kafir. Okay, the plural is kafiruna. Okay, remember we did the sound plural. We have done the sound plural. So here, what do you do? Only thing you do is add waw and nun. Kafiruna, just like Muslimun, right? Muslimun, and you say Muslimuna. Now, ya ayyuha. Ya ayyuha, honestly, the whole thing means oh, which is same thing as ya. It's just same thing as saying ya. But what is this ayyuha? Inshallah, something that I will explain to you when we do the surah, when we go through the surah. Ya ayyuha is same thing as ya. Okay, let me write this one better. Now, then we have ta'buduna. Ta'buduna, it is same thing as what we had here. A'budu. This one a'budu. Okay. So ta'buduna, it is you, plural, worship. Okay, don't worry too much about these verbs. You haven't studied these verbs yet. So right now, only thing you have to do is learn as a vocabulary word. I think they are giving you all these words because these words are coming from the surah. Okay, now abattum. Abattum. Okay, this is past tense verb. This is exactly past tense of this thing. So ya'buduna is you are worshipping or you worship. Abattum is you worshipped, past tense. This is a past tense, you worshipped. You worshipped. All right, so again, if you don't understand everything right now, that's fine because we really honestly haven't talked about past tense verb anyway. So right now, again, just memorize them as a new word. Abattum means you worship. Maybe when we do the surah, maybe we can talk a little bit more about these verbs, a different form of these verbs. And we have lakum. Lakum is for you. For you. Kum is plural. Again, for you, masculine, plural. Okay, so when you say laka, means for you, masculine, singular. You understand? And when you say lakum, it is masculine, plural. That's why when we say assalamu alaikum, we're saying peace be upon to you all. But if you're giving salam to just one person and one male person, then you can say assalamu alayka. You don't have to say assalamu alaikum. And he can say wa alayka salam. You understand? He doesn't have to say wa alaykum salam. Now, and we have khalfa, we know khalfa, which is behind. Li, same thing. See, laka is for you, li is for me. For me. Okay, this ya is for me. I think we'll have a lesson on all of these pronouns. Okay, how do you say my, your, okay, all these detached pronouns, inshallah. Okay, so the next exercise, we basically have the writing exercise and showing you qaf in different places. Qalbun, qittun, Qur'anun. Okay, and then we have wasi'un, lawhatun, and huwa. Okay, now, so with that, we finished our first part of this lesson. Inshallah, I'll see you in the next. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.